to you first up. I know the Congress party has put out a defense that Narendra Modi also met Jeremy Corbyn. They've put out a picture from 2015. But how is the Prime Minister of a country meeting who was then the leader of opposition in UK same as Rahul Gandhi meeting Jeremy Corbyn today? Rahul Gandhi is not leader of opposition in India. Jeremy Corbyn is not even in the Labour Party anymore. So how are the two comparable?
That's a ridiculous argument, and I haven't heard anything more juvenile than that. And that was anti-India, then so this should be.
Because no, but the Prime Minister of the country is mandated and obliged to meet the polity of other countries. He was the Prime Minister at that time. Jeremy Corbyn was leader of opposition. He's mandated and obliged to meet them. That's not a private meeting. That's a public recorded meeting. How is Rahul Gandhi's meeting the same as the Prime Minister's meeting?
No, my only simple argument is if you are going to speak, I will keep quiet. You can do the entire show without me. I'm happy to not be a part of the show. But you're not going to interrupt me when I make an argument. You can ask me multiple questions after I finish making an argument. If we have a consensus there, I can continue. Otherwise, it's okay. A lot of people do shows.
You said that my argument was juvenile, so I explained myself. You can continue.
Yeah. I still believe your argument was juvenile, and it's a very stupid argument that the BJP is making. And I will tell you why. Because Rahul Gandhi may not be the Prime Minister and he may not be the leader of the opposition, so to say, but he is the strongest voice in India. He is...
That's not a position.
I think you can carry on the show without me because you're not going to let me talk. And I'm sorry I have an issue with that. You cannot keep speaking while I'm talking because I'm still making a point. You hear
go ahead.
Point and then you can make your point.
Your video is cracking, Supriya, but go ahead.
So please keep quiet and listen to me. Otherwise, you can keep making your point. Why the hell am I on the show?
There's no need to get so agitated, Supriya. We are having an argument and a discussion.
I have spoken for 15 seconds and you want to keep jumping in. That's
Supriya, please continue.
I'm sorry, I may have never been on your show before.
You have been on many of my shows. Just 2 days ago, you were on a show with me.
I actually don't even know who am I speaking because I was told, Maria, I don't know who am I speaking with. I am sorry.
That is something I've heard before, earlier also from you. But anyways, continue.
This is a picture. This is also a picture with Afroz Fatta, the biggest money launderer in Gujarat. This is a picture with Nirav Modi. This is a picture of Mehul being hosted by the Prime Minister. This is a picture of the Prime Minister hugging Nawaz Sharif on an unscheduled visit. This is the Prime Minister hugging Biden and then hugging Trump. All of those who have actually said they want to intervene between India and Pakistan. And since the BJP is making so much of hullabaloo about Pakistan and about Kashmir, I have only one thing to say. Pakistan is a lone detractor. Let's forget about them. Rahul Bhatt was killed very recently. Kashmiri Pandits are agitating. आप उन पर लाठी चार्ज कर रहे हैं. आप करंट के तारों से उनको प्रताड़ित कर रहे हैं. Let's do something for the Kashmiri Pandits because you are busy promoting a movie.
I'll go one by one. Supriya, you've had your say. Your video has frozen. Supriya, your video has frozen. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the pictures you were showing. We'll try and sort that out. But meanwhile, let me take that question to Ashok Sajjanhar. Let me take that question to...
It's a very fortunate time. I'm not so sure about that though.
Let me take that question to Ashok Sajjanhar. Mr. Sajjanhar, is it wrong to ask that comparing the Prime Minister of India meeting the Prime Minister of Pakistan, since the Congress is quoting Nawaz Sharif visit, or the Prime Minister of India meeting the leader of opposition in UK, are they the same as Rahul Gandhi meeting Jeremy Corbyn, whom, might I repeat, is not even with the Labour Party anymore? Are the two same?
Yes, Shivani, thank you very much for having me on your show. Not at all. I think these are false equivalences. These are incomparable situations. You know what I heard, and as you said rightly, we were not able to see the pictures that the Congress spokesperson was trying to show. But you know, if the Prime Minister of the country is meeting the President of the United States, Donald Trump, I heard his name being mentioned. What is wrong in that? After all, Donald Trump...
That's part of their job.
It's part of the job, and I think he was a great supporter as far as India is concerned. He was the one who, in fact started with the Quad. Since we are talking about the Quad, which is taking place today in Tokyo, he was the one who in 2017 started the Quad, and I India has been a very active participant as far as that is concerned. With Mr. Joe Biden, whether he's been the longest serving senator as far as the United States is concerned. 1972 till about 2007, and then after that he was vice president for 8 years. So I don't see what is the equivalence that is being sought to be drawn between Prime Minister Modi's meeting with the Vice President Joe Biden.
Thank you for clarifying that. You're a diplomat, so I'm taking your view on that and not the view of Anurag Sharma, who's from the BJP. Mr. Sharma, I mean, overall, I think this is a very illiterate argument to make by the Congress party that the Prime Minister of the country met so-and-so in a public meeting, so it's okay for Rahul Gandhi to meet the same leader who's not in that position now, and that too 2 years after this leader is on record to want secession of India from of Kashmir from India. That's just the point I was making. But Supriya, I now come to the second argument. I did not question Jeremy Corbyn's credentials earlier. I was only comparing the comparison with the Prime Minister's meetings. Now I come to Jeremy Corbyn's credentials. Why would Rahul Gandhi, as a parliamentarian in India, want to associate with Jeremy Corbyn, who's quite discredited even in the UK?
Let me, for the benefit of your viewers and for your own benefit, first answer your first argument, since you said my video has frozen.
We heard you. Your video was frozen.
The Prime Minister is at liberty to decide who he wants to meet and who he doesn't want to meet.
Okay.
Jeremy Corbyn was an elected MP then. He met him. He may have wanted to meet Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi met a whole host of conservative MPs as well yesterday.
Okay.
How come there is no hullabaloo on that? Because the UK Parliament has widely discussed human rights violations in this country. As far as your second point is concerned, and I think that's a point that you're making about why would he want to meet. Like I said, there are multiple people. Rahul Gandhi is an elected MP from India. He was in UK and people wanted to meet him. Will you stop meeting people because a few functionaries as dumb as from the BJP will turn around and say you're anti-India? Was Mr. Modi who had a discretion to meet Corbyn. Please hold on. You are misquoting what is the law. The Prime Minister is under no obligation to meet. He can decide who he wants to meet. And who will decide? No, you said he was under obligation.
No, I said he's mandated
it was
and obliged to meet leaders of polity in other countries. Mind you, Jeremy Corbyn was leader of opposition in UK in 2015.
There is a difference between mandatory and obliged in the English language. He is very obliged, but this is not mandatory. He still chose to meet him. I'm presuming Mr. Modi doesn't endorse his view, just like Rahul Gandhi does not. So it's a ridiculous argument that the BJP is making all over the place.
All right. Let Anurag come in now. Let Anurag come in now. You are making a ridiculous argument by even picking this issue. This is a non-issue, Mr. Sharma. Who Rahul Gandhi meets in private is his business.
Look, I like to say one or two issues. I'm not going to scream and shout, and it will be very clear cut.
Yes, Mr. Sharma, continue.
So let me just be very clear. One, the Prime Minister, in his position, when he meets people, are formal meetings. These are well documented. We all know what is discussed. They're all in the public domain. And he, as the Prime Minister of India, as somebody representing India, has the right and the need to meet people from all walks of life, and especially other positions. One. Two.
What was being discussed here, I'd like to know.
I have not said a word.
I really want to know what was being discussed here.
Second thing.
I would like to know what was being discussed here as well.
Sure.
Please tell me what was being discussed here.
We would be very happy if what was discussed between two politicians, I mean, really discredited politician as far as Mr. Jeremy Corbyn is concerned. I would also like to state something else, which is very clear. As a member of parliament, in fact, as an ordinary Indian, all of us, when we do go abroad, are actually ambassadors of this country.
The fact that there's a show happening explains a lot about it.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. But can I continue? I didn't disturb. So the other thing is, when we're ambassadors of this country, when we go there, we try and actually portray India in a good light. You do not try and meet people who will or are attempting to break this country up. That's unfortunate.